So on today's episode of Banking on Community, I'm excited to be joined by Dr. Jimmy Rowland and Dr. Jordan Tittle, the co-owners of Helix Physical Therapy and Chiropractic. Welcome to the show, fellas.
Thanks for having us on.
It's exciting to finally have you on.
Yeah, we envisioned it, when
you did.
We first met.
You did. We first met, I remember, I think the way this went down is my son, who was a college athlete, Tyler, after winning a couple of national championships, moved back to Austin and was looking around for a good source, and I think he got led to you guys by one of your clients.
Yeah, the head coach.
The head coach.
Yep. Yeah, the lacrosse coach.
That's right.
DeJoe.
Derek DeJoe, Derek DeJoe's head coach of Lake Travis High School lacrosse, played at Syracuse, stud college lacrosse player, lives here in Austin now.
Yeah.
And Tyler was looking for a local source since he was in college in Georgia.
Yeah. We were working on Derek, and then Tyler.
So then Tyler goes to you guys, and he was like, Dad, these guys are amazing. Like, you and Mom ought to go because, as you know, Kelly and I run. And so that's how we first met. And I was always like, Kelly and I were always amazed from the very minute that we met you guys, how amazing your culture was and how healthy your business felt. So welcome to the show, guys. It's about time. You guys are doing a great job. Tell me a little bit about, well, first off, I want to say that, to give a little bit of background, Dr. Jimmy is Dr. Jimmy Rowland.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is an award-winning researcher whose work has been published in the Journal of Physical Therapy and Sports. Mm-hmm. He's a dedicated practitioner. He works with clients ranging from young children to professional athletes, focusing on injury recovery and performance optimization. And Dr. Jordan Tittle, you honed your passion for sports medicine and kinesiology through your work with the WNBA Dallas Wings team, Denton High School athletic program, and also as the chiropractor for 3 5A high schools in the Frisco and Proper area, which is up in the Dallas Metroplex. You're also honored to serve the Dallas Amputee Network and the veterans at the Dallas VA Hospital. You're a trained chiropractor.
Yeah, I did those things.
You did all those things. And you guys, so I love your backgrounds. Mm-hmm. But you guys didn't know each other growing up.
Not
right?
at all.
So let's talk about
people say that a lot, though.
The J&J show, Jordan and Jimmy show. So how did you guys come together? When did you all meet? And tell us a little bit about that environment at that time in your lives, in your professional careers. What was going on in your brain?
Yeah. First time we ever met was we both got hired to work at a training facility. It was one of those things that I was just chasing my passion within the sports, community and realm of like doing sports chiropractic stuff and working on high school athletes. And then an NFL player came in to my practice one day and worked on him. And then right after he got off the table, offered me a job. And then I was like, okay, this is a little weird, but he's offered me a job while I'm in my other practice. And it was one of those things I was like, I'll hear you out. Let's see what you got. And then that's one of the sparks of that. Took a little bit of while, and he has a different story because I'm in Texas at the time. He's from Ohio, so
you're in Texas. Where in Texas are you when this is happening?
In Frisco, Texas.
And you're in Frisco, Texas. And who are you working for at the time?
A PT or chiro clinic up there.
A clinic,
yeah.
Not your clinic at this point.
Not my clinic.
You're just working for somebody else at this time.
Yeah,
got it.
For somebody else.
So then you're in Ohio.
Yeah, I was out in Cincinnati, Ohio. After just graduating PT school. I ended up getting connected with a guy who was in the midst of purchasing APEC itself.
Apex is
the training facility that we met at.
Yeah.
So Apex was the trading facility that you guys worked at?
Yes, sir. Together.
In Frisco.
Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth.
Yeah, so my story that I was saying is just a little bit behind.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you come in from Ohio to go to work for Apex in Fort Worth?
Yeah, I started out when I was in Cincinnati. I met with the guys who were going to purchase it. Okay. They ended up trying to do like a basket of interviews with people that were in that area that they kind of got connected with.
Okay.
I ended up meeting with them. They really, really liked me and like offered me the job on the spot. But the big contingency was like if they ended up purchasing the company because they were in the middle of trying to, that then I would be transferred to Fort Worth But
Did they have an office in Cincinnati too, or what?
they wanted to do like a satellite clinic where it was
Got it.
like only treating like the professional athletes, like the
Okay.
Bengals and stuff like that. So I was going to help start that up, but they had better ideas.
Okay.
So they offered me that job, and then I actually moved to Miami, Florida, and worked in Miami, Florida
For that company?
for that company. For the people who were going to purchase the
Got
training
it.
facility.
Different name.
Different name, yeah.
Got it.
Different name. Worked there, learned a bunch of stuff, business operation stuff, and when they finally made the purchase go through,
They bought
then
Apex in Fort Worth.
Yep, they bought the whole company. Then I ended up relocating again to Fort Worth, and then that's where him and I ended up.
Were you
meeting.
already at this Apex, or did you come in
No, so
after Jimmy was going to work there?
Yeah, so I after I got offered the job to do the APEC,
Yeah.
to be the first chiropractor there at APEC,
Okay.
they told me, they said, it's like buying a house. They don't know if for sure it's
Yeah.
going to go through or not.
Right.
So at that time he offered me a job. I still worked for the same company that I was prior at for another like 8 months, basically, while you were in Miami.
Yep.
And then
Got
finally,
it.
when that deal went through, that's
brought
when
both you guys in.
They brought
Yep.
both of us in.
So they see you guys, they're buying, you're their first two new guys to help them grow the business, and you guys click immediately.
Yeah.
Is that how this works?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
You gotta tell them this.
Both young, educated
Well,
guys, you different disciplines, right? You're a chiropractor,
Yeah.
and you're physical therapy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you guys all of a sudden, so tell us the story. Like,
Yeah, so like we ended up like working with each other for probably about a week, and then like I had zero friends moving from Miami to like Texas, and then he was newer to the area in Fort Worth. I mean, he knows the area, but didn't really have any.
Frisco and Fort Worth are pretty far apart.
Yeah. We ended up like sitting there talking. I was like, "Hey man, I kind of like golf now. You want to like go to the golfing range or go to a par 3?" And we go to this like crummy par 3. And the first day we ever hung out outside of work, it was probably like 30 something degrees, raining, sleeting. This dude wore a ski suit like, to the golf, and we went golfing for the first time. It was hilarious because we're sitting out there, no one's at the whole course. Like,
So that's when it all started.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming
We had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
cold.
you guys
Only a
come
few days.
together in Apex, and then Apex. It sounds like it was a pretty high end training organization that worked with professional athletes
Yeah, it was.
and different types of clientele, right, across all spectrums. I assume, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And that's when you guys kind of realize. Tell us a little bit about that, because I feel like I know a little bit about the story because I've laid on your tables, and
Yeah.
I think you've treated every single person in my family, all 5 of us at this point.
I think we have.
All you have.
we've accomplished
Connor,
that.
Connor finally came
Yeah,
in
he did.
recently with some old lingering stuff, and he feels so much better.
Good.
And we thank you guys greatly. All of us in our family thank you for taking care of our health. But so you guys are working side by side, and you guys are realizing, wait a minute, I'm a PT guy, and you're a chiropractor, and you guys. I assume that interdisciplinary functions, was that a big part of the Apex sort of thing, or was that just something you realized what the market was missing a little bit, or the market didn't really?
It's kind of missing it to a public level.
Yeah.
So to say. So like not, there's not a lot of offices. There's probably not too many offices in here that actually incorporate both.
Yeah.
But in the sports world, like if you go to any like professional team,
Yeah.
right, they're always going to have a chiro and a PT hired.
Okay.
So they're always working together in the sports world.
Okay.
So we kind of like gravitated to that idea of being together when we open up Helix, is that like we can kind of bring
How long were you guys together in Fort Worth?
2 years.
yeah.
So you got 2 years together in Fort Worth. You guys like each other. You're both young. You come from different treatment aspects, if you will, from an educational training perspective. But yet, I'm just gonna like tell the world like you guys do the same thing. Like so how do you like? This is a part that fascinates me. So how do you wake up one day and have the confidence and the nerve to pick up from Fort Worth, Texas, which is 3.5 hours north of here, how do you come to Austin? How do you pick Austin, Texas to come to start a brand new business from nothing, from scratch? Because you guys started your business from scratch, right?
And knowing zero people.
And you knew zero people, and you had 0 clients in Austin.
Yep.
Yeah, we knew nobody.
But so how do you do that? Like tell me a little bit about your thought process and how you guys came to the conclusion that it was time for you guys to partner and do your own thing. And we'd learned enough in our prior experiences because that's the entrepreneurial journey, right?
Yeah.
At some point, you got to just go do.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there and think about it. Well, you guys jumped in.
Yeah, you got to take.
How'd you get there?
Yeah, we first were connected with the building owners that own the whole space that we're at.
Or you were?
We ended up getting connected through them, like through the sports medicine scene itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they just kind of mentioned us like, "Hey, we have space. Would you be interested?" And it was one of those things where we had really no idea. But we decided like, let's like, hey, let's try to drive down here and just look at it. Cause we already started to like kind of talk about doing something like that
together.
Or at least he wanted to go do his own thing. And I had ideas about doing my own thing at that point in time anyways. We drove down here. We kind of like looked around the area and kind of like even Google mapped it a couple of times. And like looking from the West Lake to Lake Travis and Vandergrift, like Sports Triangle, how big those schools were. There's no like true sports medicine facilities that's in that area. So we saw like there was like a dire need for that type of treatment style and then like attention that was just not there.
Not here in this market?
Yeah, not here in this market, especially out there in the West Austin area.
Yeah, we saw quite a few chiropractic offices along 620 and Lakeway. We didn't see too many like PT places. The only PT places we saw that were like ATI, like kind of ATIs can be good, they can't be good. They kind of thrive off of the provider that's there at the time. And so it's like one of those things, but it's more chain feel, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going to get a tech, you're going to get this person. You're not going to be with the PT like the whole entire time. So we knew that we can kind of create like a more customized like care plan for people that they would really enjoy and feel like valued as a patient. And we didn't see that around us at all. And so we looked at it as like, all right, we're next to 3 really, really good schools. We're basically bringing a product or, you know, our service that's different than anybody else. We're not really competing against too many people. And we're just like, had a good.
So you guys
try it out.
You guys look at it and go, we're young. Let's try it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And were you guys married or engaged or long time at the time?
I was married.
You were already married.
Yeah. They had plans on getting married that summer.
Yeah.
So then you 4 moved down here, moved in together.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's right.
To share in the cost.
Yeah. We actually moved into
And you're married now.
I am married.
So the wives were completely behind you guys. So that's that's important, right?
It was
huge.
Yeah. It gave us the power to do what we needed to get
right?
done. Yeah.
I mean, having that kind of support and having that financial ability to share. I mean, not too many people would move in,
No.
Yeah.
with the wives.
Yeah.
That's a unique situation.
Yeah. And honestly,
You guys must have just really been destined to work. I mean, that's no wonder. I mean, IPEX hired you guys. They must have seen in you what you're doing now, and then to see you guys come together, and I bet they hated to lose you guys and go, well, shit, they're going to lose them. They're going to start their own thing in Austin.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet they hated that, right?
Yeah, they definitely
did
did.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all moved in together.
That's so crazy.
It was like,
And you're still friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Well,
finally got out of the same house.
Yeah.
Now we have
Yeah.
our own places.
You have your own places.
We have our
but-
own places now.
it worked out perfect.
But your business is thriving now.
Yeah.
Because you made those early bootstrap investments.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Together with your wives.
Yeah. I
Really
think-
neat story.
I think
And we got to know each other a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at possibly opening a business with someone that you've just known for like 2 years, how can you accelerate that process a little bit of like really getting to know
Move in
people?
together.
Move in together, right? I'm sure like everyone's had roommates at any point of time, right? And some of your best friends probably still today, but there's like, you live with them, you hate them for a little bit.
So you got one location over in the Lakeway Bee Cave area. Mm-hmm. It's a guy that owns a big metal building. Mm-hmm. And they've got a bunch of they got a huge dance studio in it, and then they've got a half turf field, in essence, a quarter turf field in there where they do weight training and athletic conditioning and the kinds of. Then they've got different machines and stuff. And so you look at this situation. I remember your very first room. I think your very first room had 2 tables in it, and it probably was 12 by 25.
600 square foot.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't even that big.
No,
Yeah.
it was 300 square.
Oh, yeah, it was 300.
300 square feet.
300 square feet, and it had a window
Yep.
that looked out the front
Yep.
and a door that entered. And that's where your entire
That's where we started.
company was started. And
Yep.
tell us a little bit about your approach, because your approach is the interdisciplinary workings of the 2 disciplines that you bring to the table.
Yes, sir.
And I know, so I guess, tell us a little bit about that and how did you arrive at that and why does that work?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that strategy and why is that working and why does that work?
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things that really come down to it. I think the convenience makes it a huge thing for people. You know, like a lot of people, they'll end up doing some chiropractic care and then they'll need physical therapy. So then they're driving one side of town to the other side of town just to find a provider they kind of want to work with.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it on the way here about like the major differences that you would see from a PT and a chiropractor. But in our opinion, one of the major things would be like you really shouldn't know the difference a whole lot. And that's why like whenever you would come in, you'd feel super comfortable working with both of us on the same issue.
Yeah, I mean, like if one of you ended up having to take on a new client meeting because that was the only time that worked for somebody coming in from out of town, or, you know, a special situation, an injury that you had to address for either a professional athlete or a high school, college athlete or whatever, you know, it was like, okay, well, Jimmy's got to go do this, and so Jordan's going to do the stuff today.
Yeah.
But it seems to work, and you guys seem to have alighted on a really interesting opportunity segment in the marketplace where, I mean, I always marvel and tell people, like when I first started going to you, like you laid me down and we did I think you did some warm-up stuff, and then you put me on the adjustment table. And I've been to chiropractors before where I go every week, right? And they do the same thing. They crack you and then they adjust you every single week, every time you go see them. And I remember, like, to this day, and how long have we been coming over there? I haven't come for a while, but I used to go every week for
a while,
several years, couple years. How long have you been in business?
You basically came once a week for probably like 8 months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But so you adjusted
when
me.
Y'all were like training to run.
Yeah.
Yeah. When y'all were doing the marathon stuff. Yeah.
So you adjusted me the first time I came. Mm-hmm. And then I think you've adjusted me in all of the visits that I've been there. I've been on your adjustment table no more than 4 times.
Yeah.
In the entire time that I've been seeing you guys.
Yeah.
And so you guys are saying, now wait a minute. Every situation and every injury and every uniqueness of everybody's thing is unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different.
And chiropractic may help and it may not. It may not be necessary. So why do it if it's not necessary?
Mm-hmm. Hey, we're trying to find the fastest approach to get people better.
Healthy.
So, yeah.
And strengthen it so that it doesn't return.
Absolutely.
One of the big things that's like an issue with just getting adjusted is like you're taking something that's not necessarily moving well and moving it a ton, and then you're just letting it go. And so that's like why if you do the adjustment, getting up off the table, then going to go out and reinforce it with all the exercise, the stability component, that's why you get the result way faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that's.
So you guys started this business 2 years ago.
A year and 5 months now.
1 year and 5 months.
Yes, sir.
And now how's it going? Because you guys had the one location in the little less than 300 square feet, and then you've expanded in that facility, your main facility, to more than twice your space.
Yeah, we're around like
3-4 times your space.
Like 1,300 square.
1,300 square feet from there. So and you guys are busy Monday through Friday from sun up till sundown,
pretty much.
Basically.
And you'll do weekend stuff if need be. You guys have had professional athletes fly you to around the country to come work for them as they're preparing for a competition or a workout or a tryout or whatever. So how's it going now? You guys have another location?
Yes, sir.
We do.
Yep.
Yeah, we just.
Where's that at?
It's off of 35 at the shopping center called The Link.
Uh-huh.
Do you know where? Dang, what's that Mexican food restaurant that's over there?
There's a broken
Papacitos.
Oh yeah, sure.
Off of 35.
Yeah, and
It's
290.
just the shopping center that's just
Right across the street. I know exactly where it is. Yeah.
So a gym just opened up in there.
Okay. And you're in there with the gym?
We're in there with the gym. Yeah.
So they're doing their thing, but then they're able to have access to what you guys do because what you guys do is so unique in the way that the two disciplines kind of frame up with each other, that they can work them out over here, but they can't do what you do for their body and the body work and the thing that they need to do for the body.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we get to use the whole gym. So it works out. It's a very similar concept to where you first met us at. So it doesn't change. So if someone comes to see us there versus at our other clinic, it feels the same.
Well, so what are some of the misconceptions about what you guys do that you're trying to change and address in the world of physical therapy and chiropractic and training and sport and treating athletes?
Yeah.
What are some of the misconceptions that you guys are trying to clear up and
I think the
solve
biggest,
for the community?
I think the
You want to
big
go off of what you said?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is the fact that like whenever you're active and stuff like that, or if you're playing a sport, like when you typically get hurt, you're not hurt on, say, a treatment table itself. So like to do stuff that's solely based off of doing stuff on the treatment table, like that's not ideal in the long term to get you back to where you need to get to. So I think the big misconception is like, you know, getting to the point of where it's just like table work and feel good stuff, or where you leave and you maybe pain's like improving little by little over a long enough like horizon. It doesn't mean that you're actually prepared for the sport or the activity again. So like one of the big issues or the misconceptions is like, hey, you need to go get treatment because you're in pain. It's like, well, that's the starting point for most people to come in and try to get the access to it. But even when the pain's gone, doesn't necessarily mean that you're back to where you need to get to be prepared for the sports or the activities that you're asking for your body to handle. So a lot of times, you know, we'll have come in, say, even if you get a surgery, you get to the point where there's not pain with the surgery, but it's not functional or it's not optimal. So it's not that the pain should be the driver, should be the sole outcome or the optimization of the issue itself.
Got it. So you guys, I know, and to sort of paint the picture for our listeners. So I know that when my family goes in there, and again, my wife runs marathons and I've run them, and, you know,
She crushes it.
swimmers and college athletes. So, and she does. She's getting so fast.
Didn't you
Amazing.
run? Didn't you just do a half Ironman?
I did not.
You didn't do it.
I did a sprint triathlon as my first triathlon. So I did a little.
Triathlon.
That's what
I did a
That's
sprint
what I meant.
triathlon.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I did a sprint triathlon, which is kind of
the shorter version.
there's
right?
there's one shorter. There's a beginner one, but
Yeah,
it's pretty much the shortest one. So it's
Yeah.
I don't- I
Don't
don't-
downplay it.
Yeah,
Don't downplay it.
I was excited about that.
The whole family.
It was my first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very first one. Kelly, you know, she just got back running the Boston Marathon. But so I know that when we go in there, we do body. So we get in there. And honestly, for me, the issues that I've had, you just determined a long time ago that chiropractic was not the issue. And you've
Yeah.
done some adjustment, but really what you do is you guys have been working on different strengthening processes while you're doing the body work. So you do the body work to warm the body up, and then we always come off the table and we're doing all kinds of stuff. Sometimes I'm like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
You guys are like, let's keep going, Jeff. Don't be a wimp.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
You have to know your patient though. Like for you, you know, one of the things you told me was like golfing,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, so a lot of rotational stuff.
Yeah.
Like me adjusting your spine isn't the answer to get you stronger to be able to like either go a whole 18 holes without
Yeah.
back pain or hit the best drive that you wanted without back pain. Like you need to develop the strength and endurance that your body can handle with
But
that.
you know what's amazing is in that short period of time, I mean, I'm hitting the ball. I developed some things with you in a very short period of time. I hit the ball harder now and further than I was before I started seeing you. Mm-hmm. And I started seeing you not because I wanted to be able to play better golf.
Yeah.
That kind of came later.
Right.
I started seeing you because I was having all kinds of issues because I was running a ton of miles.
Sure. Yeah.
And then it'd put me over the edge when I'd play around the golf, and I didn't know what the connection was. And you guys but now I hit the ball like a lot further. I think that's to your point. It's like we got to get you off the table and prepared to enter into that kind of domain again in terms of that kind of physical activity.
Absolutely.
And that's the key, right? This is not about a PT that says here's a prescribed PT for an injury.
Yep.
And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it 3 times this month or 3 times this week, and we're going to do this exact same thing. And then you're going to come in and we're going to do it. You're going to get off the table and you're going to pay me your $50 or whatever. You're more of a premium. You guys feel to me like you kind of have hammered out more of a sort of what I'll call sort of the premium sort of space in a kind of an otherwise commoditized sort of industry.
In a way,
where there's
yeah.
like so many PT and so many chiropractic, but you guys have figured out a way to kind of the secret sauce to bring it all together.
Yeah.
Put it together, individualized treatment, but still allow you to scale and grow your business, which you're doing.
Yeah.
So you've added another therapist.
We did.
Yeah. We just hired.
That's fabulous. I remember when we were on the table when you were first starting, and we were talking about how many bookings you had on the calendar for this week, and then the next thing it was like, gosh, our revenues were this month, and then it was like, this is how much cash we have in the bank. And
Yeah.
I remember those early days, like, should we hire somebody? When's the right time? And
Yeah. Absolutely.
we used to have a lot of conversation about
Yeah,
that.
we did talk about that a lot.
And you finally pulled the trigger when you were ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you guys are risk takers.
All risk. All risk.
I mean, you are, because
Yeah.
you move
have
with
to be,
nothing.
right?
Yeah.
But yet you were so conservative and thrifty when it came to hiring that first employee.
Yeah.
And is that you just have the one?
Yeah, just one.
Just the one now. 1 year and 5 months in 2 locations and one. And I think that's a huge success. Congratulations to you guys. What are some of the lessons that you've learned?
Like business-wise?
Business-wise, about what it's been like to be an entrepreneur and started and all of this stuff. A year and 5 months in, what have you learned?
Your word of advice that you gave us, don't let the grass grow under your feet.
Nice.
Just constantly move.
He says that all the time, by the way.
Yeah.
You did that.
Yeah,
That's
you did.
good.
You did. You gave me that word of advice.
I use that at the bank.
Yeah. But it's true. It's like,
Everybody's like, oh, here comes the don't let grass grow under your feet speech from Jeff. But
yeah. The one thing that like I feel like we kind of thrive off is, like we're going to make the wrong calls, we're going to make the wrong decisions, but in velocity terms, like if we make enough of the right ones, it'll offset the bad one. So like that's where you said don't let the grass grow under your feet. That's like it resonates with me so hard. I'm like, it's all right. Like if it doesn't even work, that's fine. We'll fix it somehow. Just moving forward.
Just don't make catastrophically bad decisions.
Yeah. I don't want to shut down or anything like that. But
don't you keep that are permanent.
yeah.
Permanent.
Yeah, but like going out and then just it's a 24-hour thing. It seems like there's not a lot of time to turn it off. We're definitely involved with all aspects of the business, which makes it difficult to manage. But it's when you sign up to be an entrepreneur, your life is entrepreneurship.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you guys are entrepreneurs in the healthcare industry, which is
hard.
And so, what are some of the challenges you faced? And tell me about the main challenges you feel like you faced to this point. Have you faced any challenges, or has it all been relatively easy for you?
It has came off pretty easy to start, but we've been doing this for other people for the last year,
Yeah.
opening up their stuff. So we've been studying for this test for a while.
Okay.
The hardest thing is just doing it, is just really like getting on the ground. I would say like the hardest part of our business was like just the groundwork when we first started.
Yeah.
You
didn't have the playbook.
What we were doing to like contact people and just like get our name out there was just like the funniest stuff, but it worked.
Yeah.
What we did to just,
I mean, you guys have a
direct
great
message
bank,
people
right,
or-
that you work with.
Super supportive. The best bank in the world.
We do.
Keystone Bank.
Keystone Bank.
Keystone
yeah.
Bank.
That's one of the best decisions you made, right? Because you were banking with another bank early on, and they didn't really care who you were, right?
Yeah.
No,
They didn't help
we're
us
just
at
a
all.
number to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said, "Oh, I want to try out Keystone."
Yeah, we got convinced by some people
guy.
in the community.
Guy in the community, It's
Some
interesting.
family.
I know. So tell us about the future for Helix, because you guys are doing a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I would imagine that you're going to continue to get pulled on with clients that want to be a part of what you're doing, and I've seen it. And so what are your aspirations for Helix? What do you guys think about as owners and entrepreneurs and founders and partners? What do you guys dream about? And
I think that we want to try to take the model and find the people that really fit the model really well, like kind of how we feel towards each other. Like hopefully that we can develop a community,
other employees
that,
and customers
that feel the same, that feel involved. Like, I mean, you could probably speak to it as well. Like you feel like you've witnessed all the growth that has occurred, and like you feel a part of what we do, and like that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
But like trying to find the communities with either employees or having the clients that come through, develop a really good community around them, and then like be able to expand that and then offer those services to other people where they may not get it where they're at. Like us treating a lot of the people from the east side is kind of hard because, they're driving an hour, depending on traffic in Austin, hour and a half to go get treatment.
It is
treatment
tough.
for an hour and back home for an hour and a half. So like trying to expand, build out, and trying to bring our culture to multiple places.
is it hard to find people?
To like work with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super difficult.
And it should be that way.
Yeah. It's super
Even if there's a
difficult.
plentiful amount of people, it should be that way, right?
Yeah.
It should be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just hire somebody because you think they're going to work and then because they could wreck your business before you know it.
Yeah, it's super scary. Like,
Somebody really smart told
yeah. It's
You guys,
it's definitely
you guys are
scary.
the entrepreneurs.
It's scary for sure.
You're sponges. You ask lots of really great questions. I would say that's what I like about watching you guys is that you guys, I mean, you took a lot of risk and your wife's jumped in there with you and you guys moved to a new city and everything. But the one thing that you guys have done is you ask lots of questions and you guys are curious as hell.
We do that with all of our patients.
I know
That's how
you
we
do.
make such good relationships with a lot of our patients.
But you're not doing it to create. You're not doing it to create clients. You're doing it because you genuinely want to just rip out of their brain.
Yeah.
because you want to be so successful as entrepreneurs and partners.
Well, I think a little bit of
Very
both,
others.
though, right?
Yeah, well, that's true.
You create really
Relationships.
good relationships with people,
And you get to know
and
them.
then you know them forever, lifetime. Those are the people that are going to stay connected with you and see you forever.
Yeah. So you got
definitely.
So what does Helix look like? Is Helix stay in Austin, Texas? Do you have 100 therapists and it's a national company? Is there some new technology that you see that helps your business? Does AI help your business in any way? Tell me a little bit about what are you guys like? You guys can't just be. You can't be everywhere and do the same thing that you guys do today. So what are you guys thinking about the future for Helix? Or are you happy with what you have and that's a great niche and it can provide a tremendous amount of success for your clients and the community and yourself financially? Or do you guys think about the future?
Yeah, we do. I think the first goal is for sure. We talked about having like 5 clinics and like what did we say?
We said 5 clinics, 5 years.
5 clinics, 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we said that.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
kind of crazy, but
We're on year 2 clinics.
I know.
yeah. But kind of the way we're doing clinics isn't just the traditional, brick and mortar. We're kind of going a little bit more like smart, coming into places that already have like foot traffic.
Yeah.
So like I would say like on a vision standpoint, we have to get there first.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different stuff in between to do that. But I don't know if I have the right answer for what that will be like.
Like the vision of the company. I mean, obviously opening the multiple locations, being able to do that. But ideally, like we want to be able to provide the premium services and try to build like a more state-of-the-art facility that offers the general technology that can help us do our job at a much higher level.
There's so much going on, guys. Like, I know that you're a chiropractor and you're a physical therapist and you help with range of motion stuff and injury and strengthening and being a more prepared athlete and all of the things that you guys do. But there's so much of these life hacks going on out there to help with health, wellness, longevity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there any? I mean, do you see maybe a holistic office coming together?
More multidisciplinary. Yeah.
I mean, you're already multidisciplinary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you see that expanding the reach of that? I mean, there's clinics that treat with peptides and
we have a few doctors that we
IVs
work with that have talked about that.
And the whole private medicine space for people and
yeah.
and just all of the different sort of, I was out of town on a fishing trip recently and there were 2 guys, can't remember the thing, where they put a patch on and it measures you. Mm-hmm. And you wear it for a patch for a certain period of time and it measures all of you. And I'm just like, they both had them and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Every time I turn around, there's always some sort of something unique way to help us be healthier and last longer.
Yeah. I would say that like behind the scenes or even subconsciously, like we've been working on developing the network that can provide something where we can hone in everything in one house.
Yeah.
So like we have an orthopedic, we have like private doctors that we work with that do the concierge based stuff.
Yeah.
And then we've developed like partnerships with them entirely where, they'll have part of their onboarding process is coming to see us too. And then same thing with some of our patients that we work with, I think that you'd be a great candidate to inject this like type of peptide. Yeah. You should go consult with this doctor and talk to him about that. Yeah. So if, in a long enough horizon, like if we could figure out how to get it's really the spacing issue and then bringing the partners together. Yeah.
What's that?
A super clinic.
Yeah.
I think that's really would be, I mean, that's what we're all after, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, we're all after health and wellness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that changes.
Yeah, and I think if we put all those disciplinaries together, like working with our private doctors, our chiros, our PTs, all the doctors that do the injections and kind of put them under one roof or where it's your one-stop shop, I think that would be like the ideal solution to what we're trying to accomplish.
It would be a cool... Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name Helix?
He basically, I had a name for a business that I was going to start before I had told him, right?
Yeah.
We agreed on it too.
Yeah, we agreed on it.
I was like, yeah, let's do that.
I looked at him, I was like, dude, if it's going to be our thing, let's just create a different name, whatever. And so he looked at me, he's like, I really like, the DNA symbol, or a double helix, or whatever. That I just, on Google, looked up what does a helix, what does helix mean, right? Or what does a double helix stand for? the first thing you see on Google, it's like when two different things come together to create movement in life. I was like, done. Helix.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
That is a great that is a great way to name a company, and I love the name in the back.
Yeah, it fit perfect.
Does
PT, Chiro come together, and then what we do for people is try to provide movement and create more life for them.
I just I've never been so impressed with a doctor when I started working with you guys, and that's what my son said to us. I think he asked you, like, my parents are old. Do you still?
I was about to say.
Did he say you work with old people?
I convinced him that you guys were good for our clinic.
He was like, they're old.
I asked him. He said, my mom and dad they run marathons, but I think they're a little too old for. And I was like, how old are your parents? And then he said y'all's age. I was like,
50 something.
I was like, they're not old at all.
Not at all.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then about a week later, y'all came in.
Well, I know that
I didn't want to throw T. Wilkes under the bus like that.
T. Wilkes, he can handle it. He's a funny dude, as you all well know.
Yeah,
a big fan of yours too. A big influencer of yours, and obviously stepmom and dad. And we send everybody we can over to you, and you guys will give it a look.
Absolutely.
And you'll give them their honest opinion.
Yeah.
Like you did with one of my executives that was having neck issues. You guys gave him your honest thoughts, and he ended up having to have that surgery, fusion surgery, because what you got. I mean, it was just time.
Yeah,
like there was not a whole lot you could do for him.
Yeah, the transparency is key.
And you guys did that. You didn't just put him on the table and go, well, we're going to try this like some of his other doctors. You guys said, look, I'm not sure that we can help you.
You have to be honest with people.
Yeah, but
you have to give them realistic expectations.
But sometimes people just like, well, let's try this for a while. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just try this while. And I just don't think that's good doctoring. I think yours is a better doctoring, which is like, I can do this, but I'm not sure I'm going to help you.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're not,
because again, your goal is to get beyond the injury. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Your goal is to get past the injury, to get way past it, right? Absolutely. To get you prepared to be able to deal in that again, whatever variation of that looks like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really an interesting approach. Yeah. No wonder you guys are successful.
Yeah, it's unique.
Just started.
So what advice would you offer to any other aspiring healthcare professional or entrepreneur who would like to follow a similar path in building their own practice or business in the industry? What would you tell them?
Don't work for somebody too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't work for somebody too long.
Get your experience, and while you're still young, take a shot at it.
So do it. So
do it.
Get out and actually do it. Don't be afraid to do it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, because I feel like there's a period, in especially what we do in like the sports medicine world of like working with high school athletes. There's like time frame on it. Like you can't be like 40 and then just now starting a sports medicine clinic. I feel like that time's passed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I feel like you have to be like at least young enough to really relate with the kids and like really have enough time to like fail.
Yeah.
And if you don't
what's an interesting? You just said that like it's no big deal.
Yeah. If you don't give yourself time for that, like, I don't know if
like you're just it. Like it didn't scare you at all. Like I'm gonna fail, great, fine. Who cares? How long if I'm young enough, I'll rebound.
You just go get a job somewhere else. Like if you fail,
isn't that the best?
Yeah. Like I don't.
Great advice.
That's what we said when we first started. Is like, look, in a year we end up hating each other. This. We go separate ways and get good jobs back and then figure it out. But like if you're scared of that, like you'll never do anything.
Yep. So just do it.
Just do it.
Just get out of your own way.
You have to.
Jump.
Yeah.
Jump out there and do it.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
It is. You guys did it like it was nothing.
Yeah. I think it was timing, and we were just blessed to everything fit perfect, and it worked out the way it was supposed to.
I love how you guys at first you guys had in your brain, you had this like scorecard picture, like how many appointments in a day. Mm-hmm. And then, so you guys were really like, oh, we had so many visits today, and then we got somebody scheduled for the next 3 days, and then somebody scheduled for the next week. Like, who taught you that? Nobody taught you that. No. You just did it because that was the only thing you knew to grab onto, right?
Yeah.
But I loved it because you guys knew that, and then it got to like, okay, this is how much. Every time I go, this is how much, Jeff. This is how much cash I have in the bank.
Yeah.
You guys were so smart to focus on those two key metrics.
Yeah. We were trying to figure out what to focus on too.
Yeah.
When we first.
But nobody taught you that, right? You just figured it out on your own.
Well, I don't think we figured it out. I think the curiosity of asking people like you that are much smarter than us, like, led us to making those better decisions and having the ideas that we needed to. And that's why, we keep the conversations.
That's also why we ask patients all the time for their.
Is Helix a national brand? Is Helix a national? I mean, don't you feel like what you're doing are pretty special? Is Helix a national company? You guys ever think about that? Like,
I mean, that's like, from where we're at, like, that vision almost seems like it could be impossible. But, if we end up,
that's where I think, like, that question you asked, like, does it seem like possible? It does, but I think we have to accomplish the short-term goals first.
Yeah.
And short-term is in, like, the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And then we can really reassess and, like, go from there.
Yeah.
That's true.
We have, like, once 5 clinics are done, then we can look at national brand and stuff like that. But
are there other people doing what you do around the country, or are you somewhat unique?
Yeah, I bet there's people who do it, but I don't know many places at all.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard of the PT Chiro side to the public until we got together and worked at our first company with that.
Yeah,
there's one other company here in Austin that does.
Oh, I'm not really sure.
So let me ask this. So, like, who do you want as a client? Because I know that you've worked with runners. You worked with a lot of runners.
Still do.
And a lot of people in the running industry, influencers in the running industry. You work with professional athletes,
had a
quarterbacks.
Professional runner in today.
You had a professional runner in today.
Yeah.
So you guys work with football players, basketball players, college, professional, and high school.
Yeah.
You work with men and women.
Absolutely.
In all of those sports.
Yeah.
You work with kids. You work with old people like me.
That's right.
So you work. So what are you looking for? Like if somebody's listening to this today and they're like, well, shit, I got to go see those guys. Like, who do you want? Who do you want to pick up the phone and call you?
Someone who's.
I was going to say, I think it's the person who's driven to do the work to get out of the issue that they're currently having. Yeah.
You have to be.
It's because, it's not going to be like touchy-feely, feel good, and then not solve your problem. It's going to be hard work. It's painful at times.
And we're going to scare you. We're going to try to make you do things that you didn't think that you could do, or that you are able to do at that point.
Yeah.
But we have to, like, some of our best patients, they just, like, they don't care. They're like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then those are the people that get better a lot faster. So those patients that are, like, driven for, a certain goal, whether it's like picking up your kid or going to run your Austin Marathon.
Yeah.
Like, the people with the goals are usually tend to be, like, some of the best patients to have, because we can get them better a lot faster.
And you can handle just about anything, except up to the point where somebody got to do some surgery on somebody because...
Yeah. And we'll refer people out if it's not us.
And if it's not you, have
for
really
injections
strong,
or this or that.
You have a really strong relationship with people you trust too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a big part of building your practice locally, is who can you trust is going to take care of your clients as good as you.
Yeah. Or if someone just had a really bad point of, like, back or something like that, they may need like another provider at first, and then when they come back to see us,
and then you can strengthen them up beyond that.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, this is awesome. I'm so glad that we finally got this done.
I know. Thank you.
You guys have done an amazing job. It's really fun to watch you. I see all kinds of entrepreneurs and all kinds of industries leading all kinds of different businesses. And you're the best. Is that what you just said? That's so good. I love the confidence, though. That's what it takes. You took a risk. You got confidence. You got your support of your spouses. You guys are focusing on the right things. You're looking for the right kind of customers. And you're looking for the right kind of employees. And boy, that's hard to beat. And I love the idea of the crossover and the disciplines meeting together to create wellness and health for longevity's sake. And I can't wait to see what the next a year and 5 months looks like. And congratulations on your new location. Is it open now?
It's open.
And the new employee works there?
No, he'll be working at Lakeway.
So he's going to work at Lakeway. And who's going to run the new location over on I-35?
We both will, but
you kind of both will.
Yeah, we both will.
So you'll split time in the practice over there.
Right now, that clinic is like for like mostly all of the runners.
Yeah,
because all the runners live on like the east side.
So you have a lot of runners over there.
Yeah, so like all the runners that would normally maybe see us like once every like 3 months just
Yeah.
because it would take a while to come see us.
Yeah.
Now they're seeing me like once every 3 weeks.
They really ought to be seeing you once a week.
Yeah, they
They
should.
really should be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really ought to.
they should listen to you.
Uh-huh. You guys keep up the great work. I'm so glad I got to meet you. My family is grateful to you. We are healthier and healthful as a family, thanks to you all. It's truly amazing. And I just watch what you do every time I'm over there, and it's so fascinating. And it really is, it's work, but it's fun work. And you guys are fun to be a part of. So no wonder you're being successful.
You gotta enjoy it.
Yeah,
You guys are.
Hey, you gotta enjoy it too.
You're having a ball.
yeah, we appreciate you, Jeff.
We thank you coming on the show today, and I'm glad we finally got this done. And keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Let's go.
care,
Keystone
guys.
Bank is the best bank.
Let's
All
go,
of Austin.
Let's go. I love it. You're the best. Thanks,
We
guys.
tell everybody about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We got a new client coming to you.
Let's go.
Actually.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Send them our way. You know we take them.
gotta talk to you about it.
Let's all go. We'll do it as soon as we hang up. Perfect. All right, guys. Thanks.
Today's episode of Banking on Community was recorded in the Keystone Bank podcast studio located in downtown Austin. Keystone Bank opened its doors in 2018 with a maverick approach to community banking, focusing on putting clients first and the core values of take charge, encourage creativity, lead in innovation, do what is right, and center around community. For more information, visit our website, keystone.bank.